Hello, everyone. You all are welcome to my presentation on the Glass Menagerie by Tenancy Williams. I'm Himaya Godamunna, fourth-year student at Trincomalee campus, Eastern University, Sri Lanka. Before I begin my presentation, I would like to take time to thank Dr. Rohan Sawarimuthu, our senior lecturer, who encouraged us and who gave this opportunity to me. So let's begin the Glass Menagerie play by Tenancy Williams. According to my content, I first going to deal with the biography of Tenancy Williams and the plot summary, characteristics, themes, symbols, language of the play, and finally conclusion part. So let's learn a little bit about Tenancy Williams. Tenancy Williams, or Thomas Lennie Williams III, was born a giant of American theatre, considered alongside Eugene O'Neill and also the Arthur Miller. He's one of the most important playwrights of the 20th century. And when we talk about his childhood, he was marked by a strained relationship with his father and a close bond with his emotionally fragile mother. He described his father and the mother relationship just a wrong marriage. And also, he developed an interest in writing while attending a university in Missouri and St. Louis. He works like Glass Menagerie in 1945 and also a Streetcar Named Desire 1947. Those are most the iconic plays. And they deal with raw emotions and also family struggles and yearning for connection. Tenancy Williams, the Glass Menagerie are intricately linked. The play, which premiered in 1944, is considered his breakout success and a major turning point in his career. So the play draws heavily from Williams' own life. When we talk about the Tenancy Williams, the Glass of Menagerie plot summary, the play is set in St. Louis in 1930 and tells the story of the Wingfield family. Amanda, a Southern belle clinging to the memories of her aristocratic past, and Tom, her frustrated son, who works in a shoe warehouse to support the family, and Laura, Tom's shy and fragile sister, who has a collection of glass animals. So the play is narrated by Tom, who reflects on his family struggles and his own desire to escape from their bitter life. Amanda desperately wants Laura to find gentleman caller and settle down, but Laura's social anxiety makes this very difficult. So when Tom finally brings home a friend from work, Jim, there is a glimmer of hope for Laura. However, Jim visits end in disappointment, and the play concludes with Tom leaving the family for good. So the Glass Menagerie is a powerful and also the exploration of memory and also the illusion. So the fragility of human connection. The play themes are timeless and it continues to resonate with audiences today. Now we move to the next slide. Those are the main characters of the play. When you talk about Tom's character, Tom Winfield, the narrator and the central character in the play. So he's a complex and also individual burned by responsibility and yearning for escape. When we talk about Tom's character as trapped by responsibility, the warehouse job. Tom feels suffocated by his monotonous job at the warehouse, so he describes it as a nightmarish crew of enchanted crickets and escapes through stolen movie nights. So here, the crickets can symbolize different things depending on the context. In some cultures, they represent good luck, and also while others, they can be associated with eeriness or bad omens. In the Glass Menagerie, Tom escapes reality through movies and the fire escapes. So the crickets, perhaps representing the world outside the Winfield apartment, could be a source of unease for him, a constant reminder of the life he's trying to escape, and also the nightmarish quality could emphasize the anxieties Tom feels about him facing the world. And also the enchanted. The fact that the crickets are enchanted adds another layer of symbolism. Perhaps it represents Tom's yearning for a more magical existence and escape from the mundane. So the Tom's character, the crickets, through their enchanted explanation, could be highlights different phases of Tom's personality. They might portray him as a dreamer who longs of adventure, and also a frustrated artist with unfulfilled potential, and also a loving but conflicted son who feels trapped by his obligation and all. So this dreamlike scenario offers a creative way to explore Tom's inner world and the complexities of his character in this play. So, next, move to the family obligations. The Tom cares for his fragile sister Laura and his overbearing mother Amanda. So he feels a strong sense of duty, but it restricts his own aspiration. Now we talk about previous slide. Yearning for escapes, the merchant marines. Tom dreams of joining the merchant marines, a symbol of adventure and freedom. The cortex are descended the step of this fire escape for a last time and followed from the on in my father's footstep, attempting to find in motion what was lost in space. So here, the merchant marine represent escapes for Tom. He feels trapped in his life with his overbearing mother and also the sister. So joining the as a merchant marine offers him adventure and also freedom and way to financial support his family. So therefore, merchant marine symbolized Tom's internal conflict and also his tone between his responsibility to his family and his desire for a little life outside. They are stifling his apartment. And also the fire escape is a literal way to get out the cramped apartment, and it is representing Tom's content desire to escape his unfulfilling life. So he spends a lot of time smoking and also resembling thinking for on the fire escape. It is a temporary break from his family problems and his dead-end job. So the fire escape hints at a yearning for adventure, and it is possible path to a world beyond their St. Louis apartment, and symbolizing Tom's dreams of joining the merchant marine and sailing away. When we talk about movies and literature, Tom finds solace in movies and also his writing. So seeking a refuge in a world of fantasy. So his typewriter becomes a symbol of his own reality through his stories. And now, when we talk about the internal conflict as a love and resentment, Tom always loves his sister but can be frustrated by her shyness. So this internal conflict evident when he accidentally breaks her glass menagerie. So here the play described Tom's cortex. Laura, Laura, I tried to leave you behind me, but I am more faithful than I intend to be. So this expresses Tom's desire to escape his responsibilities and the burdens of his home life, particularly his concern of Laura. When we talk about the deception and guilt of Tom, Tom feels guilty about neglecting his family responsibilities, and he deceives them about attending business meeting when he actually at the movies. Now let's move to the next slide. Yeah. And the character of Amanda. When you talk about Amanda Wingfield, the mother in Glass Menagerie. She's a complex character with a mix of admirable and also the frustrating traits. Here are some characteristics of the Amanda. When we talk about Amanda's characteristic living in the past, Amanda clings to her memories for being a southern belle, often overlooking the harsh realities of her present situation as a single mother in poverty. So this creates a romanticized view of life that clashes with the struggle of her children. And when we talk about Amanda's character, determined and also the hopeful, despite her circumstances, Amanda possesses a strong will and unwavering optimism. And also, she constantly seeks for her children, particularly Laura, even if her methods are sometimes misguided. And the delusional and impractical character. Amanda's reliance on memories and fantasies can lead a distorted view on reality. She holds on to belief that Laura can find a gentleman caller, despite Laura's social anxiety and disability. When we talk about Amanda as a loving but overbearing character, she deeply cares for her children, but her smothering nature and also the constant pressure can be suffocating. So she struggles to understand their individuality and also the desires. Finally, the fragile and vulnerable character, Amanda's forced strength makes a deep loneliness and the fear of abandonment. So stemming from her husband leaving the family. So this vulnerability adds a layer of empathy to her character, and also uh, Amanda's contradictory nature makes her fascinating and also the tragic figure. So she's both a source of frustration and a symbol of resilience in her face of hardship. Now we move to the next slide. Yes, Laura. Laura Wingfield in the Glass Menagerie, the character defined by her fragility, both emotional and also the physical. When we talk about the Laura's character, emotion and also the fragility character, we can talk about the fear and also the very shyful character. Laura struggles with social interactions. Amanda, her mother says, resume your seat. Little sister, I want you to stay fresh and pretty. For gentlemen callers. So here this highlights Laura's anxiety around meeting new people. Um, in this play, The Glass Menagerie, Laura Wingfield is a delicate soul, both physically and also emotionally. A childhood illness, her with a limp, fueling her shyness and fear of rejection. So this combined with her overprotective mother pressures and also a social isolation. So this makes her emotionally fragile. And also, she finds solace in her glass menagerie, a world of beauty, so reflecting her own vulnerability. But this struggles to cope with her harsh reality that threatens to shatter of her fragile existence. And next, when we talk about the prone to disappointment, Laura dreads disappointing her mother when confronted about lying about business school. So she confesses, Mother, when you are disappointed, you get awful suffering look on your face, like picture of Jesus, mother in the museum. So this fear of upsetting Amanda restrict Laura's independence. Here, we know the Laura line about the mother's awful suffering look, it reveals both her fear of disappointment and also the Amanda's expressive nature. So Laura dreads Amanda's sadness comparing to the Virgin Mary's grief in a museum painting. This is highlights the emotional weight of Laura's and the fears and the power of Amanda's disappointment holds over her. So it explains Laura's lie about school and also the foreshadows tension as Amanda tries to set Laura up, the potential trigger in the dread dreadful look again. Now, let's see inner world and also the fantasy. Previous slide. Yes, here the glass menagerie, Laura escapes into the world of her glass figures. So it's a symbol of her fragile beauty and her desire for world fantasy. So like the glass figures, Laura is beautiful but easily broken. She finds solace in her fantasy world populated by these objects. So a world safer than the world of social interaction that makes her anxious. Now we move to the next slide. Yeah, the physical fragility. As I mentioned above, Laura has the limpy walk. A childhood illness left Laura with a physical disability. So this fragility is mirrored in her collection of glass figurines, which are easily broken. And also, when you talk about Laura as a gentle and also the poetic, the blue roses. The blue roses holds a special significance, and it originates from a misunderstanding. When Laura was in high school, she missed his school due to pleurosis. It is a lung illness. Her classmate Jim misheard her explanation and thought she said blue roses. So this nickname acts as a symbol of multiple levels. When we talk about it as a uniqueness and also the rarity, blue roses don't exist in nature. So it is making the special and also unlike anything ordinary. So this reflects Laura's withdrawn personality and her struggles that set her apart from others. And when we talk about the fragility and beauty, roses are beautiful flowers, we know it, but delicate. So the blue color adds a layer of either reality or the mirroring Laura's gentle and easily wounded nature. And also, when we talk about the misunderstand and also the fantasy, the origin of the nickname highlights a disconnect between the Laura and the world. And also it shows how her shyness can lead to misinterpretations. However, Laura cherishes the nickname and suggesting hearing of a world of fantasy and beauty. Now we move to our next theme, illusion. So here, the play explained Amanda Wingfield's Southern Belle persona and Laura's illusion of escape and the illusions of Jim O'Connor and the illusions of the Tom departure. When we talk about Amanda's entire persona is an illusion, she constantly reminds us about her life as a Southern Belle and exaggerating her social status and also accomplishment. So this facade helps her avoid the harsh realities of her present life. When we talk about the poverty and also loneliness and a fractured family. And also, Laura's world revolves around illusion. Her collection of glass menageries represent a safe haven, a world of beauty and fantasy where she can escape her social anxieties and a physical limitation. However, this escapes comes at a cost, hindering her ability to connect with the others in a real world. Even seeming a real character, Jim Connor, he becomes also the illusion. Amanda sees him as Laura potential savior and also the gentleman caller from her past. But Laura projects her own romantic fantasies onto him, and also, however, Jim's revelation of his engagement shatter this illusion, forcing the family to face the truth. And finally, the Tom's departure is also an illusion. While he escapes physically, and he remains haunted by his responsibility towards his family and the guilt of abandoning them. Now we move to the next slide. Escapism. The Laura's primary form of escape is a collection of glass figurines. She finds solace and comfort in their fragility and beauty, so preferring their idealized world to the harshness of the reality. So this is evident in her shyness and her reluctance to engage with the outside world. So, when you talk about Amanda clings to memories of a southern Billy past, and it is refusing to acknowledge the present struggles of her family. And also, she constantly reminds us her about her gentleman callers and a more glamorous life. So, using these memories to avoid facing the challenges of the present, um, like her strained relationship with her children and their limited financial situation. And we talk about Tom's escapism. Tom escapes through his work at a warehouse in passion for movies. So he drinks heavily and spends a lot of time at the movies. Um, he seeking a temporary escape from the burdens of his family life, and also he dreams of joining the merchant marines, a physical escape that would allow him to completely leave his behind life. uh, Next slide. Yeah, the power of memory. The power of memory is a central to the characters and their interactions. So the memory serves as both a source of comfort and means of escape for the character. So particularly for the protagonist, Tom Winfield. When we talk about the escape and nostalgia of Tom Winfield, who also served as the narrator, frequently retreats into memories of his past to escape the harsh reality of his present life. And the Laura, Tom's sister, finds solace her collection of glass figurines, a glass menageries. And also the Amanda, Tom's and Laura's mother, constantly reminds us about her youth and her day as a Southern Bella. So in this play, the theme of power of memory is central to the character, as I mentioned above, and also Tom as the narrator seek escape from his stifling family life through memories, and also Laura finds solace in her glass menageries, and Amanda, clinging her fading Southern Belle identity, use memories to shield herself for the harsh realities of the present. And while the memory offers comfort, a sense of control, and it is also hinder their ability to fully embrace the present and move forward. So overall, the memory in glass menagerie serve as a means of escape and a source of both comfort and a pain for the characters. Now we move to the next slide. Dreams and also expectation. When we talk about dreams and expectation, the characters in the glass menagerie all dreams of escape from their stifling reality. Tom yearns for adventure as a writer or sailor, and also Laura seeks solace in her glass figurines and also the fantasies. And Amanda clings to her memory, southern gentility, hoping a gentleman caller to whisk Laura away. However, their dreams ultimately clash with the harsh reality of their situation. Now, let's see. Next slide. What are the symbols of the play? When we talk about the symbols of the play, they are the glass menagerie and also the glass unicorns, the blue roses, and all. So here, the glass menagerie, this is the collection of fragile glass animals in the play. It is a symbol theme. It is represent Laura's own fragility and her delicate beauty and her retreat into a world of imagination. Just like a glass figures can shatter easily, Laura also vulnerable and also easily hurt. The glass unicorn, this is a specific figurine from the menagerie holds special significance. We know unicorns are mythical creatures, and they have a single horn, so it is emphasizes Laura's uniqueness and her difficulty fitting with the real world. And the blue roses are typically red, we know it, and also the blue roses doesn't exist in the nature. When Jim calls Laura blue roses, it highlights her unusual and also elusive nature. So blue can also symbolize sadness or longing, which reflects Laura's emotional state. And the next symbol is the fire escape. This is a more literal symbol. It provides a physical escape route from the cramped apartment, but it also represents a yearning for escape from their current situation. Tom uses it to get away from his responsibilities, and while Laura might see it as a path to a different life. And the movies represent escape into world of fantasy and also the glamour. Amanda clings to her memories of her time as a Southern Belle, a life she sees reflected in the movies. And also, Laura finds her solace in the idealized world and presented on a screen. Now, we move to the final part of my presentation, the language. When we talk about the language of the play, the Glass Menagerie is written in English, and also it is include the everyday speech of the character with a poetic touch. The instead of formal words, the Tennessee Williams used figurative language like metaphors and similes and also the rich descriptions. The Amanda mother might use flowery language to talk about her past, and also the Tom, the narrator, adds a layer of a lyrical beauty to the story. So this creates a unique language that is both beautiful and sorrowful, reflecting the Wingfield family struggles. Now we move to the conclusion part of this presentation. The Glass Menagerie concludes with a poignant reminder of the characters' unfulfilled dreams and the fragility of their world. Tom, yearning for a life beyond the confines of his family, escapes into the night and leaving his mother and sister behind. Laura, her spirit further broken by Jim's rejection, and retreats deeper into the solace her glass menagerie. And Amanda, clinging to the fading memories of her youth, is left grappling with the harsh realities of the present. When we talk about this is a play that leaves lasting impact, and it compels us to consider the power of memory, illusion, and all, and the human need for escape. While Wingfield family may not achieve their dreams, their stories serve as a powerful reminder of the enduring strength of the human spirit, even in the face of disappointment and also the loss. So this is all about the Glass Menagerie play by Tennessee Williams. So thank you for your attention and thank you very much.